So let's talk about the second topic, which is employee team empowerment. So I'm going to share with you a story. And the story goes like this. I remember working at a job once and absolutely loving it. I loved my colleagues. I had a sense of purpose, and I came in every day to put in as much blood, sweat, and tears into that organization to make it the best it possibly could be. But over time, I started feeling stuck, and my colleagues felt the same. And that left us feeling very frustrated, which made us less engaged. And before I knew it, over half of our office had become unrecognizable because we'd moved on, either mentally or physically. I'm sure you've heard those stories before. I'm sure it feels intimately familiar. Because not only do we hear those stories from friends, maybe when we're out at happy hour or when we're out socializing, but you might even hear these stories as you scroll through morning news feed. And recent data is showing that these stories aren't just hyperbole and fabricated. A recent survey from the Gallup poll indicated that only 33% of employees in the US are engaged in their work. So that means that nearly 70% are not. Another poll indicated that over 80% of people in the US reported that they were dissatisfied with their direct managers. And the cost in the US of unhappy and unengaged employees is between $450 and $550 billion each year. So that just leaves me thinking we really need to make sure that our employees are happy and that they get their needs met. And with all of the emphasis in healthcare today, it's really strange that leadership isn't doing more to focus on keeping people engaged. And the irony is the people that we want to engage are the people who are really creating the benchmarks by which we're measuring our healthcare. For instance, they're the ones who are responsible for the patient satisfaction surveys. They're also the talent that we want to recruit into our healthcare, and we want to retain them as well. So it means that we need to really focus in on meaningful experiences and meaningful experiences for our employees. So there's a few ways in which you can do this where you'll get an awful lot of your return on investment. So be accessible. As a supervisor or a manager or as a key leadership person, if you have an open door policy, make sure it really is an open door policy. Make sure that person can enter in and share with you their issues, their concerns, or even their successes. But make sure you're consistently available to everyone within your organization. Acknowledge people. If you see that some employee has gone out of their way to be really incredibly creative or stayed longer or really thought outside of the box and really worked hard, acknowledge that. Send an acknowledgement in a form of an email and thank them. Everyone likes to be recognized, and thanking employees goes a long way. Because if your budget's tight and you can't do anything and provide those free massages, then just sending an email and acknowledging that somebody has really made a difference makes that person feel great. Look at mentoring and education. If you can send an employee on a training course, they'll love that. They'll look at the future as what they can put on their resume. And if they have an extra training and they feel that you're helping support them in their future, and they can put that extra training onto their resume, they'll love that. So look out for free trainings or low-cost trainings. Look out for stuff which is actually on the internet that they don't even have to move out of their homes to do, that they can do remotely. Focus on individual strengths and not their weaknesses. If you see weaknesses, make sure that you understand them and maybe shift over that responsibility to another person who maybe has a strength in it. Try and really pull out their strengths, unless the employee in particular has asked to work on that weakness. but always try and really boost up the positive side of what your employee's been working on and what your employee works on. And make people feel safe. Allow them to trust you and show that you can be trusted, because that trusting relationship is invaluable, because your employee will share with you those issues and barriers which you might not know are going on or happening in the clinic setting. But for the fact that you have that incredible trust and that you're somebody who can and will listen, because trust and listening are two incredibly important skills that you really need to keep and you really need to demonstrate in order to keep your employees. Be genuine. And finally, make sure that your employees feel valued. Just by acknowledging and just by recognizing just simple words, just simply smiling can really help the employee feel incredibly recognized. And again, we have a tool that we've created to help you support employees and team empowerment. And it's called 5 Steps to Empowerment. It will give you some ideas and thoughts on what you can do in your clinical setting to keep your employees. And just to finish off this section, just this morning I read the US Bureau of Labor and Statistics projects that 11 million nurses will be added to the workforce to avoid nursing shortages. So we need to hang on to those nurses. We can't afford to lose them. Otherwise, we're going to find that we are going to be part of that nursing shortage. So how do we hang on to them? Hopefully we hang on to them by addressing their mental health issues and needs, and also supporting them in their empowerment. So please feel free to contact PCDC. We would love to work with you. We would love to provide you with technical assistance and training and download the tools. Thank you.